Joining me now to go through the day's top stories is Nick Cater from the Menzies Research Centre. Nick, let's start with the resignation of Marise Payne and the question of who replaces her. Jim Molan, a Conservative warrior, was replaced by a small L Liberal, a terrible result for the party if you ask me. Marise Payne wants her good mate, former New South Wales Transport Minister Andrew Constance, to get the spot, but Warren Mundine is the option who, well, a lot of people say makes a great deal more sense. Now, we know Marise Payne is a factional player, and it's been reported that she has timed her resignation carefully to ensure her faction has the numbers. What is your opinion on what's best for the party at this stage?
Well, you'd have to say Warren Mundine has more than qualified himself for the post. I mean, he's been through one pre-selection, which he didn't succeed at, but I think more recently, of course, he's been a leading figure in the voice debate. I think, but for him and Jacinta Price, I think the results of this election, this referendum, will be looking in doubt. So, look, I think he's done a really important thing for his country. Let's not count our chickens before they hatch. Let's say, touch wood, we do get the no vote across on October the 14th, but he has really achieved a great deal in getting it there, doing it calmly and diplomatically. He's the obvious choice from my point of view, but of course the obvious choice does not always accord, Rita, as you know, with the factional decisions in the Liberal Party.
Now, we had somebody out in the electorate today, Sky News, and we spoke to some of the locals about what they thought. Let's have a quick look.
My leaning would be towards Mundine. He's stepped up and shown he's a leader, not a follower.
I think either would probably be an upgrade, if I'm perfectly honest, yeah. I think wouldn't hurt to have another Indigenous voice in Parliament. But look, Andrew Constance seems like he was quite effective as Transport Minister, so yeah, we'll see what happens, yeah.
Now, 3 states have introduced bans on single-use plastic, which will come into effect this month. The bans will look different state to state, with everything from takeaway containers to coffee cups being forbidden. All 3 states have banned the sale of cotton buds with plastic stems. South Australia has scrapped single-use plastic plates and bowls. How am I going to have a picnic in South Australia? And Queensland has banned lighter-than-air balloons, whatever they are. Nick, the truth is the bulk of the plastic in our oceans comes from 5 Asian countries: China, Indonesia, the Philippines, Thailand and Vietnam. Yet we've got Western countries, not just us, banning straws and plastic stem cotton buds. Why?
Well, it's infuriating, Rita. I mean, I was at my local shop recently and it was tipping with rain outside and all they had was a paper bag. And so what happened was all my groceries promptly fell all over the pavement. It's just not practical. It's driven by some weird sort of almost quasi-religious obsession which sees plastic as evil, whereas in course plastic is responsible for saving many people's lives, for making our food that much healthier. Oh, that there was more plastic too. It's a perfect thing for preserving food. And when it goes in landfill, of course, it's a tiny, tiny amount of landfill. A single-use plastic bag hardly takes up any space at all. The problem is here, of course, is always just getting people to do the right thing, put their litter in the bin. And Australians do that, by the way. I mean, you go to other countries and they're not so good at that.
Oh, well, look, I think plastic pollution in the oceans is a huge issue. This is something I'm actually passionate about. But the level of ignorance around it is astounding. Australians don't go and dump their rubbish in waterways. There are countries where that is a routine practice, and that's part of the reason why we have this enormous problem. Banning straws, plastic straws, isn't going to solve the problem of plastic in our oceans.